Red Sea-Dead Sea Access. The Red Sea-Dead Sea Access is a series of highway construction projects intended to bring easy transportation and prosperity to Jordan, Israel, Palestine, and the surrounding area. Construction. The agreement. An agreement was signed in Amman on October 24, 1974, between the Retired Servicemen Engineering Agency (RC) of Taiwan and the Jordanian government, under which a new road to friendship will be built in the southern part of the Hashemite Kingdom. Yen H. Sayo Chang, RC Director, and Ahmed Shobaki, Jordanian Minister of Public Works, signed the agreement for the construction of the 187-kilometer, 116-mile highway. Under the agreement, RC will build the highway in 30 months. Construction will start in 3 months. Carrying a price tag of US $14 million, the highway will open up new horizons in industrial and agricultural development in southern Jordan. Preparation. 600,000 cubic meters, 780,000 QYD of sand dune was opened for the critical area of the road within 3 months. To expedite the program, engineering expertise from surveying to embankment were brought in from Taiwan as well. More than 150 pieces of equipment were used, including 3 Waco 555 self-elevating scrapers, 10 Caterpillar bulldozers, 10 Hino dumping trucks, loaders, graders, water tanks, vibrating compactors and roller compactors, etc. Safi-Aqaba Highway, Highway. The Safi-Aqaba Highway is a highway at Jordan's side of the Jordan-Israel border. Totaling 187 kilometers, 116 miles in length, it connects Safi, the south end of Dead Sea, to Aqaba, the north point of Red Sea. RC started the project in 1974 and finished it 1977. Lo Chien-ning, chief engineer, was assigned to oversee the engineering. All engineers, mechanics, operators, 74 expatriates were selected from RC's job site at Taiwan, ROC, Africa, Saudi Arabia, and Thailand. There are also over 200 local operators, laborers from Jordan, Egypt, Palestine, Syria, Yemen, etc. The working schedule should follow Muslims' custom regarding the worship bell and festival of Ramadan and Hajj. There was rarely life of animals and plants along the construction route. During the construction, the engineering group and equipment were moved in from Aqaba to form a new town in the desert, the lowest place in the world. Besides high temperatures over 40 deg C1 or 4 deg F, the Jordan-Israel border fence at 57 kilometers, 35 miles was standing on the designed alignment. Lin Chai-ko, manager of Jordan Project Office of RC, contacted Israel Patrol at the fence and told them the fence need to be moved to meet the highway design. After the fence was moved, the surveyors continued to work through. Furthermore, at 2566 kilometers, 1641 miles, Jordan Engineering Corps support had to clear some mines, and it was only safe to conduct construction within 100 meters 330 ft of the center line of the alignment. Unfortunately, on June 17, 1975, an accident happened. The leader of surveying team of Jordan Public Works, along with 2 technicians and a driver, were killed by a mine. The Pavilion of Friendship, a landmark and symbol for the highway, was built as a present by Taiwan to Jordan. Even though the diplomatic relation was terminated eventually, the people from 2 countries continued working together to finish building the highway. Project passes over Wadi Arabah. Safi-Mazra Highway is 32 kilometers, 20 miles in length. The embankment at the swampy region and the rocket steep cliff area was exploded to use for the backfill. RC started the project in 1978 and finished it in 1979. During that time, RC also provided the equipment in the desert to Hyundai Engineering and Construction for housing units and 2M and K Construction Company for Arab Potash Company project. Safi-Mazra Highway, 19 kilometers, 12 miles in length, was built north of Mazra. RC started the project in 1979 and finished it in 1981. There is a gap along the Dead Sea between Masra and Suema. All heavy equipment was moved through King's Highway via Al-Karak on crooked mountain roads over 800 kilometers, 500 mi, and the camp of Suema was set face to face with the Golden Dome of Jerusalem across the Dead Sea. Incomplete section by the Dead Sea. There was an incomplete section from Masra to Zara. Part of the original scope of the project, this section is 35 kilometers 22 mi in length. The highway can range from a dirt road to a pavement and is intended to facilitate access by the Dead Sea. But the impact of the project was a dominant concern. Environment control, natural resource development, transportation facilities, tunnels, bridges and other structures are all among the factors taken into consideration. And it was decided that the project would be too expensive. Completion. Later, the highway was constructed nevertheless as part of Jordan's 25-year plan to build an extensive road network, which travels around the country. As of today, Highway 65 reaches far north in Jordan. Seas Canal. The connection of the seas by canal was suggested in the mid-19th century by British officers who were thinking how to circumvent the Suez Canal. Later on, at the end of the 19th century, planners thought how to use the Jordan River water for irrigation and bring seawater to the Dead Sea to create energy from its position of 390 meters 1280 FD. One of those planners was the Zionist leader Herzl. The Red Sea-Dead Sea conduit was proposed in the end of the 1960s and was analyzed as part of the peace process between Israel and Jordan. On May 9, 2005, Jordan, Israel, and the Palestinian Authority signed an agreement to go ahead with a feasibility study for the Seas Canal. The agreement was signed on the Dead Sea by Jordanian Water Minister Reed Abu Saud, Israeli Infrastructure Minister Binyamin Ben Eliezer, and Palestinian Planning Minister Ghassan al-Khatib. In August 2013, Jordanian government announced that it would move ahead with the first phase of the project. On December 9, 2013, an agreement to build the pipeline was signed by Israel, Jordan, and Palestine.